Well, welcome everybody to our Wednesday night team call. I'm so excited to have you guys all here tonight. Myself and Samantha are going to share our top 5 tips on success. And this, we talked about this earlier, and we kind of both picked a little bit of a different topics and tips. But this is what we feel is what has helped us get to success. So, did you want to go first, or did you want me to go first?
I can go first if you want.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so I'm going to give you guys my top 5 tips. You know, I could give you a million tips, but these are just kind of what I felt like today were really important things to kind of go over, and that are somewhat new topics, and some of them are going to be kind of repeats for you guys. But I'm going to start with the first one. If you don't have a pen and paper out, you're definitely going to want to have one for this call, because I know this call is going to be jam-packed with little nuggets of advice for you guys. So my first piece of advice, and this is probably one of my biggest takeaways from Summit, is to use the systems that are in place already. No part of this business is having to recreate the wheel. And some of the places where you can use the systems that are already in place are, number one, the scripts that we have. You know, I might have had success with helping people with challenge packs, but most of that success is simply because I am using a script, and that helps me to manage my time better, so I'm not constantly messaging people, and it's something that is duplicatable and that is out there for you guys to use. I'm just copying and pasting from that list. If I can sell a challenge pack just copying and pasting from a script, I know you guys can too. So use those scripts. Also, there are challenge group guides out there. You can find those on the Coach Online Office, or we have them on the files section of our team pages. Those are amazing to use on those days where you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to post in my challenge group today. Use those challenge group guides. And also, once you finish a full challenge group, and if that challenge group went really well, I highly suggest taking everything that you posted in that challenge group and creating a Google Docs document, so that all you have to do for the rest of your challenge groups, if it's a 21-day challenge group, or, you know, however many days long it is, just copy and paste using what you had already done. Create a system for your challenge group, so you're not having to constantly recreate or create new content every single challenge group. For my challenge groups, I'm simply copying and pasting. If you've been in them before, you know that I reuse a lot of the videos. I reuse a lot of my mini challenge posts. I use the same point system every time. I have it kind of down to a science now, where I remember to be able to remind people about their Shakeology, or to let them know that they can put in for their free t-shirt, you know, at specific times. I know when I can post about reminding people, like, you know, we're in week 3, it's down to the wire, you know, just things like that. Create a system out of it, and just use that so you can just simply copy and paste. Make sure that you are using the welcome emails that are also on our files. I don't know if you can hear Sebastian crying, but he's sorry. He's like trying to learn to fall back to sleep on his own after being on vacation. But so, use the welcome emails for either when you're welcoming a new coach or welcoming a new customer. I have posted those on our files section of our team page. Those are copy and paste too. Use the systems that are already out there. And then start exploring the systems that we have in place from the Coach Online Office. If you haven't already started exploring the Coach Online Office, there is so much information and so many different resources there that you can use that are going to simplify your life and make it so you don't have to recreate the wheel. So use the systems that are already in place. Number 2, provide more value. When you start providing more value to people in your social media is when you start having people coming to you. So you're not having to reach out to so many people, and you have people coming to you wanting to join your challenge groups, and you're not having to send out 50 messages a day. So before you go to post on your social media, post with intent. Make sure that whatever you're posting about is something that is going to provide new information to somebody. Think to yourself before you post it, is this something that if I were to see on somebody else's page that I would want to go back to their page, or that I would want to check back in with them and see what they're doing? So when you have those little nuggets of information in your head that like seem like such common sense to you, but really, maybe it's something new to somebody else, post about it. If you found a new recipe and you decide to try it, post about it. Little tips and tricks that you use to make your life easier, post about it. Provide more value. And keep it simple when you're posting on your social media. People are attracted to white. If you didn't know that. And that, I mean, you might hear that and be like, oh, that kind of makes sense. So keep it simple. Don't use a bunch of bright colors that are in everybody's face and a ton of words. The more simple, the better. And people like white. So when you're writing whatever you're going to write in your post, use double spaces in between your paragraphs. It reads better. Make sure that you are checking your spelling. I'm really great at this, by the way. That's why most of my posts are like, she edited this one 5 times. But, try and make sure that you're double checking your spelling. And then, of course, this will also, providing more value will also have to do with being a product of the product, not constantly just inviting to a challenge group, but posting about how you're doing your workouts, or posting about how much you're loving your Shakeology boosts and how it's helping you. And not even saying something, you don't have to say like, if you want to give it a try, send me a message. Just throw it out there. You don't have to constantly be inviting to a challenge group. You don't have to constantly be asking somebody to buy something from you. So number 3 is, and then the last one for providing more value is sharing your personal development. Share what you're learning in your personal development, because most people, if they're not a Beachbody coach, or a lot of us before we were Beachbody coaches weren't really into personal development. But if you're doing personal development now and you're learning something, share it. And that's when people are going to be coming to you and being like, you are so inspirational. And you're just like, I'm just doing what's really helping me. So number 3, give more for free. If you haven't read the book, Go Giver for Personal Development, I definitely suggest it. It's great to listen on audiobook, because I think it was only like 2 hours long. It was really quick. But it's a great read. And so when you get a no from somebody, let's say you invited them to a challenge group, you've had this great conversation with them, but they can't purchase the challenge pack right now. Send them the 5-day free clean eating meal plan, or a meal plan that you already have. Send them that for free and be like, hey, I want to help you to get off on the right start still. I'll check back in with you for my next challenge group. Can I send you this 5-day free clean eating meal plan? Also, you can tell them about the 30-day free trial for Beachbody On Demand. If you saw that video I posted or that we shared the other day about how Amy Silverman said turn 50 no's into $800, she was talking about, when somebody says no, send them that link for Beachbody On Demand. And that's also providing something for free for them. And you can also just have them sign up as a free customer as well. And then they can use the resources on teambeachbody.com for recipes and exercise ideas. That's another great just thing to give to them for free, to let them know that you're still giving them support. And then, of course, add them to your list and follow up with them. Make sure that every single month you're providing a free group. Free groups are the way to get new customers, to get new blood into your challenge groups. And that's what keeps your business going. So you're not talking to the same people over and over again. And I think that's it. Okay. So number 4, fake it till you make it. You guys have heard me say this before. Being a top Beachbody coach or being a really successful Beachbody coach doesn't mean that you have to already be there before you can start talking about it. Share every single one of your small victories, whether, and you've heard Ashley say this many times, whether it's a $40 Beachbody paycheck that's going to pay for your gas or pay for your groceries, or if it's, that one of your challengers lost 5 pounds and you're so proud of them. Share every single small victory that you can. And that's going to help people to build trust in you. And it's going to make them think, wow, she is a really great Beachbody coach. Like, she's doing something. I'm sure some of you guys, when you signed up with me in February, didn't think that, I was only making X amount of money a month or whatever. You probably thought, dang, Sam's doing really, really good. But really, I was just faking it till I make it. So, And then make sure that you can, with permission, share other people's stories. Share your challenger stories with permission. Share their stories. Share other coaches' stories with their permission. It doesn't necessarily have to be about you and your transformation or your success stories. It can be other people's. And then also, number 5, be a continuous student. This was huge for myself, and I know for Ashley as well, is when we really, really started digging into videos and digging into what clues other people that were successful were leaving for us. Success leaves clues. It's not a mystery. And this is one thing that we all love about this company, is that the top coaches in the company, they're sharing what they're doing. They're sharing their information. You just have to go out there and listen and find it and put it to use. So use Success on Demand. If you didn't know, we have a tab in our Coach Online office, and it's all the way over on the right, and it says Success on Demand. It's Darren Hardy. He wrote The Compound Effect. It's his website for his magazine, so that you can, it's like Beachbody on Demand, but for personal development. And there's Beachbody videos on there from all these top coaches from Coach Summit. I was looking at it today, and I was like, wow, this is like a wealth of videos that I didn't even know existed to help me with my business. And then there's also personal development videos, personal development audios, articles, all this stuff you can find there on that Success on Demand tab in the Coach Online office. Also, find mentors. You guys know that, we follow a lot of mentors and people who we really admire. I personally love Amy Silverman. I love Andrea Crowder. I love Anita Myron. I think they're all great. Find somebody who speaks to you and follow them and watch their videos and watch their trainings. And then lastly is start with being a continuous student is start learning the back office, start exploring in there. You don't have to sit down and watch an hour-long training or anything, but like start looking in there, start seeing what resources are available to you in that Coach Online office. So that is all I have for you guys. I will turn it over to Ashley.
Sebastian stopped screaming, and my child started screaming. So I hope you can't hear him in the
I'm sorry. Could you guys hear him the whole time?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
And I got to go on to mine, but I wanted to touch on yours a little bit if I can. When you were talking about sharing small victories, like people are watching. So make sure you share them, because if you're sharing your victories over and over and over again, that's when the people are going to come back to you. I'm just going to touch that was it. I had more, but I'll go on to mine because I have notes here and a long list. So when we talked about this morning about sharing our top 5 tips for success, I actually sat down and rewrote this out like 8 times, and I couldn't decide what I wanted to put as my number 1. And there's one word that keeps coming back to me like in the past 3 weeks, over and over and over everywhere in my life. So that became my number 1. And that word is consistency. No matter what you do in this business, you have to have consistency in every single thing you do. I like to relate it to your weight loss journey or your health and fitness journey. Whatever you're consistent with, that's what's going to come about. If you're consistent with not posting, you're consistent with not inviting, then that's what's going to happen. When you are consistently doing things daily, then the right things, and you are going to have success. We always hear the quote, the only difference between you and someone else that is more successful is time and consistency. I had to learn this the hard way because I wasn't consistent at doing a few things. I was consistent at building my Facebook page, and I was consistent about posting on there, but I was not consistent about inviting people. I was not consistent with building relationships, and you have to be consistent in every area. So be consistent with your personal development. Be consistent with drinking your Shakeology every single day. If you are not on Home Direct, you need to be on Home Direct. And if you're telling me you have too much Shakeology laying around, then you're not being consistent with drinking it. And that's something we need to be doing as coaches. Be consistent with your workouts. Follow a calendar if you have not followed a calendar to a T. Find one that works for you. Right now, I'm actually found one. I'll post the link again, but this website will make a calendar for you. So if you want to use on demand, since that's really big right now, you could go into on demand, pick a few workouts, and it'll make an entire schedule for you. And you can follow that and you can talk about that. And that is one way to promote on demand. Be consistent with inviting. Be consistent with sharing your story. I am sure that if I unmuted this and asked you guys what's 3 things you know about me, that a majority of you would come up with 3 of the same things. I'm sure it'd be wine, shopping, and I don't know right now, but I mean, but the reason you guys know that is because I consistently share it. Because I consistently share every morning that I drink my E&E or now my Energize out of a wine glass. And that randomly happened. But once somebody started noticing that I was doing it, I'm like, well, heck no, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep drinking that out of the wine glass, and I'm going to keep sharing that because my followers like that. And then consistently learn. And Sam touched on that a lot. Create a no matter what list for every day. So I want you to figure out what your goals are. And then I want you to break them down. And if you need help with that, I want you to go to your upline coach and we will help you, or myself, and we will help you break them down to where we can create your no matter what goals every day. So your no matter what goals would consist of, like, for instance, I'll just throw out mine. Right now, there are 15 invites a day, 15 follow-ups, 3 brand new conversations, 2 coaching invites to the business, and 3 friend requests. This might be different for what your goals are, but when I wrote mine down and I broke it down, this is what I need to do. And then the other thing is, if you feel like you're being consistent, but things are not happening for you, then you need to start tracking what you're doing every single day. Get a notebook, write it down. I've said it before, but I have total like shiny object syndrome. So I have to have a notebook sitting by me, and every couple months I have to go back and start writing down like what I do each hour, who I talk to, just so I can go back and look at it. But you also have to be tracking how many invites you're doing, how many follow-ups you're doing, how many people you are talking to about the business. It is super important so you can track what you're doing and what you need to change. Because if you're not tracking it, you can't change it and you can't get better. So the next thing, I have to take a sip of water, sorry. The next thing that you guys have is, or that my number 2 is mindset. This is what I was struggling with, was having mindset or consistency be first, but I decided it was second. So my advice to you is change your mindset immediately. Start with a never give up mindset. Don't say, you know what, I'm going to try this coaching thing for a few months and we'll see what happens, and then we'll go from there. Jump in all the way. Say, I am going to commit to reaching my goals and putting it into play and never giving up. Or push it out further than a couple months. Give yourself, say, I will be here a year from now, no matter what. Because once you start putting limits on yourself, that's going to put limits on your business. And this also, when you can flip that switch of your mindset, it can help you with being okay with failing. So when you fail, it's not so hard because you know that you're never going to give up. Whether if you had that thing in your head saying, I'm just going to see if this will work, and then you fail and you say, I'm over it, I'm done, I'm going to go away. But if you keep telling yourself, I'm never going to give up, I'm never going to give up, when you fail, then you learn from it and you grow from it and you pick yourself back up and you try something new. And that leads me to the next thing. Open your mind in new ways. This is still in mindset. But open your mind to new ways of doing things. Open your mind for, people are going to do things differently. We are all creatures of not liking change. So when we see somebody do something different, we're like, I don't know. But open your mind and look at what they're doing, and maybe you could fit that into what you're doing and it could work for you. Set your mindset to be positive and stop thinking negative. I know for me, this was a huge thing because when people would tell me things or ask me for advice or give me their idea, my first word out of my mouth would be, but. And now I try to stop myself. I still do it. I'm still guilty of it, but it's a but. But you want to change that so that you can think positive. Sometimes I just take a breath and I think, okay, what is positive about this? And where can we go with that, with the positive direction? And then if you do have something fail, try to find one positive thing out of it. Whatever you do, if it doesn't work out, look back and say, this is one positive thing that came out of it, and this is what I'm going to change for next time. It doesn't happen overnight, changing your mindset. As long as you work on it every day consistently, then your mindset will be, it comes easier so that it will change. The next thing I have is sacrifices. And this is a hard one for a lot of people. And it's something that we get a lot of when people are telling us no for either joining a challenge group or signing up to be a coach. But when I signed up to be a coach, I had just filed bankruptcy the month before, and I literally had like barely any money. I'm sure that I spent our grocery money on signing up for a challenge pack. There wasn't even a challenge pack when I signed up. So, but I wanted it so badly that I did it. And I didn't do it for the money. I did it because I wanted to keep myself accountable. But if I wouldn't have taken that sacrifice back then, I would never be where I am today. There were times that I sacrificed keeping myself to be Emerald because I promised myself I would not drop Emerald and I wouldn't make any money that month because I had to keep my husband's account up and my mother-in-law's account up so I would not drop, because I had dropped 7 times before that and I refused to do it again. But I made that sacrifice, and that sacrifice has paid off now. There's also sacrifices that I have made with my not watching TV, saying no to my friends, doing some hobbies that I love to do, but that took up too much time. I'm not saying you guys have to get rid of your entire life, but what I always recommend people do, and I've had some of you guys do before, is sit down and think about the top 4 roles in your life. Write down all of the roles in your life right now. And I guarantee you will have way more than 4. But find the top 4 that are your priority right now and talk to people about it. Tell them about it. For instance, my top 4 roles are: I'm a mother. That's my number 1. I'm a wife. I'm a coach. And I'm a business partner to my husband. Yes, I'm a daughter. Yes, I'm a sister. Yes, I'm a friend. Yes, I'm this, and this. But because these top 4 are my priorities and I have expressed it to the rest of the people that are, expecting me to be there for them, they know that they're not on my priority list yet. But once I can get to a spot to where I can be on their priority list, then they're going to be okay with that. And it's a hard assignment to do. So I kind of challenge you all to sit down and write down all your priorities and pick the ones that are the top 4 for you right now. And then I was talking about sacrificing your hobbies and things like that. One of the things for me was yoga. I was doing yoga a lot and I was going almost every single day. And for me, I work from home, so I would have to drive there. It ended up being like a 2.5-hour thing, round trip. I loved it a lot, but it was something I had to either cut out or cut back on because it was getting into my work time. And I'm sure you're thinking, okay, well, I see you go on a lot of trips and a lot of places and all these things. But because I have my priorities in place and I can work from anywhere, when I go on those things and I go to those places, I'm working. I have a set time that everybody knows. In the morning, I have an hour and I'm working. And that's my sacrifice while I'm on vacation or I'm out playing or whatever we're doing. So number 4, I'm going way over. Number 4 is let the haters hate. And I kind of didn't know how I wanted to put that in there, but that's how it ended up. But if you've heard me talk before, there's always three people in your life when you do something different than everybody else. People don't like change. There are the people that will stick by your side and support you no matter what. There are the people that will give you a little flack, probably make fun of you, probably, irritate you or irritate you a lot. But eventually they're going to come around and they're going to be right by your side doing what you're doing. And then there are the people that are just not okay with it. They don't like what you're doing. They will never come around. They probably weren't your friend in the first place. And if they're your family member, that really sucks. But you just kind of have to, not go there with them with that. But you have to learn to just let these people go. This held me back for 2 years. When I go back and I look at what really held me back, and it was the people that I was surrounding myself with. So don't respond to the negativeness. If you need to, delete them, block them, or if you don't want to do that, unfollow them so you don't see it. If they post something negative on your wall, delete it. Just end it right away. Don't continue the fire, because the fire can get really big and out of control real quick. Make your circle more positive than it is negative. So start following more positive people, even if they aren't Beachbody coaches. Get that negativity out of your newsfeed or your Instagram or even in your life. Just, Shalene has a lot of podcasts on this that you can go listen to, Shalene Johnson, about just kind of like slowly backing away from people. And they won't notice. You're off hanging out with these people that are, supporting you and are more positive. Just surround yourself with the supportive people, because that will make a ton of difference. Stop worrying about what they think. I know that's easier said than done, but stop worrying about what people think when you post something, because their opinions are not going to pay your bills. And that took me a long time to realize, but once I did, it was kind of just like anytime. I still get made to this day. My husband's friends from high school, they still make fun of me. And I'll see it on Instagram and I don't care, because their opinions do not pay my mortgage. The people that I connect with, the people that hear my story and that I help, that is what I'm here for. I could care less what those people think, because they're never going to come around. And then the last thing on that is, don't be a hater yourself. Support everybody around you. So my last tip, number 5, is to own it. You are the CEO and the employee of your company. So you have to do both. I know a lot of times we hear that, you are the CEO of your business. But when I was at Summit, I heard that somebody else speak and say that you are the employee also. And that kind of hit like home to me, like, oh, okay, you're right. Because I run a business over here where I have employees, but this business, I'm both. So if you're not doing the work, nothing is going to happen. I can sit here and give you guys all the training in the world, all the systems in the world, but if you don't put it into play, nothing's going to happen. You have to own it and you have to do it. Samantha talked about not recreating the wheel. And at our last Super Saturday, Jeff Hill was there and he was saying, you do not have to recreate the wheel, but you have to spin the wheel. You have to do something. No one else can do it for you. Quit making excuses and dig into them and see what your excuses are really about. I had to do this myself 2 years ago. I had to look and say, I'm making all of these excuses, but what are these excuses really about? And what is going on that I can't do this? And deep down, I found that it was fear. And that's why we're called Team Fearless. So once I realized what it was, I could jump past that. You make the decisions in your business. If you don't like something, the way that something's done or the way that we're doing something and you think it should be different, this is your business. Go for it. Try something new. If it doesn't work, then you fail forward and you go back to what works, or you try something else new. And that's where I think that a lot of people fall back on, is not owning their own business. Like, this is yours, you do it, and you decide where you want to go with it. So that is all I had. If does anybody have any questions or anything they want to add?
Hey, Ashley.
Yes.
Quick question. When you first started, you pretty much probably just did cold invites, but as you went through the last couple of years, has it gotten to the point where it's just like you don't have to do cold invites so much that you've got more people just coming to you?
Yes and no. When I first started, I definitely did warm invites, but like I said, at the beginning, I really wasn't doing any inviting, and that's why it took me almost 3 years to become a diamond. But hold on, sorry. So now I do have people that come to me, but I still have to build a relationship with them. I still have to go back to those people. And I just have to constantly get in front of people every day. If I know for me, if I'm not adding to my friends list every day, or I'm not adding to a free group every day, like new people, then I'm not going anywhere with that. So it's getting in front of the new people. I was at a point a couple years ago where I felt I was going round and round with the same people, and I couldn't figure out why. And that's when I started tracking what I was doing and who I was talking to. And I realized I was talking to the same people, and that was where I was frustrated. So I had to come up with a creative way to get in front of new people. What I did then was I created a free group, and it was just a group. It had nothing to do with health and fitness. It was just a group about sharing what we were grateful for every day. And I just like push that everywhere. Anywhere and everywhere I could, I try to get people in this group. I try to get their friends to be friends of this group and everything. And I went into that group not expecting anything, but out of that group has come so much more. Catherine came out of that group. And if that was the only person that came out of that group, then I'm okay with that. So it's just, you kind of have to get creative about getting in front of new people and getting that process going, and keep sharing. And then eventually people come back to you. Shannon took 3 years to come to me and talk to me, but she followed me for 3 years. So, I should do a wine group.
That'd be good.
I hope that helps.
Yeah, it did. So just real quick, one other question. When you do your free group and then you do just your regular Beachbody Challenge group, are you just doing invites every day, like 4 people, regular free group, and then 4 people that day, same day, just your Beachbody group? Or are you just doing it, 1 week I'll do this that way, and then the next week I do it the other way?
The way that like if you have your calendar set up to where you're doing a free group once a month, then it should be separate. So you should just be inviting to your free group, and then inviting to your challenge group. Right now I have a lot going on, but I have a couple of groups starting at the same time.
Okay.
Because I'm helping my new coaches start a group. So it's kind of a mix, but right now I am focusing on getting people into my free Beachbody On Demand group. And I think that's something that we all could be doing a group like that, because it's, 30 days for free. And if we can show them what is available, they're going to want more.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anybody else have anything? All right. Well, I will let you guys all go, and we will see you on the call next week. Have a great night.